I don't need 10 minutes with Jesus.
If someone offered you 10 minutes with Jesus face to face, or $1 trillion as a Christian, and you hesitated, we need to talk. Hi guys, my name is Sandra and this is Like in Christ TV. Welcome or welcome back. Today I'm reacting to a viral TikTok video by Simone about choosing between $1 trillion or 10 minutes with Jesus. And I think this conversation reveals something deeper. So let's get into it. But before we do, please make sure to subscribe and hit the like button so that this video reaches more people.
Would you rather have 10 trillion, or what is it? $1 trillion that we can't even comprehend, right? Because you can't even think about that. I can't even comprehend $1 million. I mean, $1 billion. I can comprehend $1 million. Would you rather have $1 trillion or would you rather have 10 minutes with Jesus? I said I would rather have $1 trillion because I feel like God left his word. He left the Bible. There's nothing that he is going to tell me probably in those 10 minutes.
Okay, I want to quickly comment on this because I feel like this is where the issue is. Imagine saying, I don't need 10 minutes with my mother or my husband or my wife because they've already texted me. I don't think there's anything new that they can tell me within 10 minutes. That would be insane because, I mean, the value of time with someone you love is not about what new information they can give you, what they can tell you, what they can do for you even. It's about presence. It's about being. It's about just the fact that you enjoy being in this person's company and you want to spend as much time as you can with the people that you love. So if we reduce time with Jesus to what new thing he can tell us, then we have shifted from relationship to utility. We have moved from loving Jesus to using Jesus. Time is valuable because of who it's with, not because of what we can gain out of spending time with that person.
I truly believe the Holy Spirit is in me and he could talk to you. But Pharaoh's like, no, like I want to sit. You said you wanted to sit with Jesus, right? Yeah. Also, I feel like if I was really sitting face to face, excuse me, I'm stuttering because that's what I would do if I was face to face with Jesus. And I would waste my 10 minutes stuttering. Like, this is really crazy. Jesus is in front of me. So it's like at this point, let me just go to my prayer room and pray. And I don't feel like there's going to be anything that Jesus will tell me in those 10 minutes that he hasn't left in his word.
10 minutes with Jesus can be a lifetime. You never know.
And I know when I die, I'm going to see Jesus. And I feel like I can tap into that now. I don't need 10 minutes with Jesus.
Okay, here she says, I can already talk to Jesus now. I don't need to spend 10 minutes with him. But the thing is, as Christians, we should constantly be desiring more of who Jesus is, more of an encounter with him, closeness to him. So if time with Jesus, if closeness with Jesus is priceless for us as Christians, you wouldn't say, I don't need to see Jesus. You cannot get any closer to a person than being face to face with them. So to say, I don't need to see Jesus, like that's wild, because as Christians, we should, like I already said, constantly be desiring more of Jesus. People in loving relationships never say, I've already spent time with my wife. I don't need an extra 10 minutes. I don't need, to see them again. They've already texted me. They've already called me. Because when you love people, you want to be with them. You want to be in their presence, because spending time with someone you love is not something that's done out of a place of lack, but out of a place of love. So the fact that money can replace time with Jesus shows us that that time was never priceless to begin with. Now the question is, if the price was different, if it was $10 or 10 minutes with Jesus, would the response still be the same? I doubt it. So the issue here is not theology. The issue is price. The moment there is a sum large enough to make us pause, then we've already placed a measurable value on Jesus, and that should disturb us as children of God.
At this point, let me just go to my prayer room and pray. And I don't feel like there's going to be anything that Jesus will tell me in those 10 minutes that he hasn't left in his word.
10 minutes with Jesus can be a lifetime. You never know.
And I know when I die, I'm going to see Jesus. And I feel like I can tap into that now. I don't need 10 minutes with Jesus. Like I have that now. Am I explaining this right? What would y'all do? Would y'all take the trillion or would y'all do 10 minutes with Jesus? I am taking the trillion and I'm going to my prayer room.
She goes on to say, I'm taking the money and going to my closet to pray. And here you can see the order of things. Matthew 6:33 tells us that seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and the rest shall be added unto you. But this order is, I want the money first, and then I'll pray.
I am taking the trillion and I'm going to my prayer room. Final answer. No, because seriously, I really hope I'm making sense. What I'm saying is I can already talk to Jesus now through prayer, through...
But here's how I'm looking at it, right? My perspective.
Okay, come tell your perspective.
My perspective of why I would want 10 minutes with Jesus, because it could turn into anything. He can educate you, he can give you more knowledge, but for me, like, yes, I am in my prayer corner, and yes, but sometimes he might be able to give you the answer or whatever it is that you're looking for in that 10 minutes. But to have 10 minutes with Jesus,
I don't feel like Jesus is going to say anything that he already hasn't
it's just
left
the
in his
quality
word.
time. I understand that. Maybe I just want to see him in person and really be like, Jesus, you're right here. I love you so much. Like, you
But
might
I
not
already
ask-
feel like that.
Okay, that's your perspective, but for me, I'm gonna take that 10 minutes with Jesus because I just want to get as much tell
You
me
said
what
closure.
I need to do.
I need
No,
closure.
closeness, more
Oh.
closeness.
Oh, I thought you were
not
like, I need closure.
No, closeness. Like, just to be able to be 10 minutes before my time comes, I'll take it.
Just a quick one. I agree with this lady's sentiment. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. I agree with her sentiment. I mean, 10 minutes with Jesus. Like, even if you have nothing to say, he hasn't got any new thing that he could tell you, which is wild because Jesus will always have stuff to tell. There's so much that we need to know that Jesus could tell us in 10 minutes. But even if there wasn't any new discovery that you were going to make by spending 10 minutes with Jesus, he is still Jesus. Like, his presence, just being in his presence is something that I cannot even begin to comprehend. So yeah, I wouldn't even hesitate.
What he might tell you in those 10 minutes, are you genuinely ready for that? Like,
Why not?
Ooh.
I
But
don't-
I'm saying that what he's gonna tell you in prayer. Are you genuinely ready for that? I don't know. What do y'all think? 10 minutes with Jesus or the $1 trillion, and why? And then also it's like, am I taking the 10 minutes to see if my faith is real? I want to have faith without seeing Jesus. I feel like the 10 minutes also, not a cop out, but it's like, all right, let me see 10 minutes with Jesus. Yeah, let me see if he's real. Or let me see if this, what I believe in is like, it's like testing your faith.
Okay, so here B. Simone says she feels like 10 minutes with Jesus might be a cop out. So she doesn't want to test her faith. This is not about faith without seeing, because if the offer was 10 minutes with Jesus or not, no time with Jesus, there was no monetary value to it, I don't believe she would say, oh no, I'm good. I've got my Bible. There's everything I need to know there. I'm just going to go to my prayer closet and I'm going to go pray. This is just about choosing money over Jesus and then spiritualizing the reasons. Wanting more of Jesus is not a lack of faith. So we don't avoid encounters with Jesus to exercise our faith or to prove that our faith is strong. We're always praying for more of Jesus. We need, when we want more, or we should desire more of Jesus.
It's like testing your faith. So I don't know. I just need y'all to comment. What would you do?
Imagine all those people back in the day who did get to experience Jesus,
Man.
and then they had that forever. So that's my perspective on it. Like, they had that experience.
But what's crazy is the people back in the day experienced Jesus and still didn't believe.
Yeah.
Like, even them experiencing him firsthand, there were still doubters. They were still not listening to him. They were still doing everything that people are doing now that haven't seen him. Like, I don't even think seeing him is enough.
Here she talks about other people, how other people back in the day experienced Jesus, but they still did not believe. That is not to say that Jesus' presence was not valuable. That is not to say that everyone that encountered Jesus didn't believe or it didn't change their lives. For those who already believed, seeing Jesus was such a blessing. So, as someone who already believes, you can't say there's no value to seeing Jesus because other people saw him and it didn't change their lives. This just shows that if you don't believe, even the physical presence of Jesus will not cause you to believe. It actually reminds me of the story of this man that was pleading with Father Abraham to say, can you please send Lazarus to speak to my brothers? And Abraham responded by saying, they have the prophets, they have people that are preaching to them right now. This person was thinking, if someone rises from the dead to go and speak to them, then they would believe. But Father Abraham said, even if someone comes from the dead, these people will still not believe. This just goes to show that if your heart is hardened, there's nothing that can be done to cause you to believe. But it's not to say that for someone that believes, there is no value in, having certain encounters, because other people have those encounters and they still don't believe. Because, if you think about it, you could argue the same thing about reading the Bible. There are people who read the Bible and it doesn't change their lives and it doesn't make them believe. But we know that our faith grows through us reading the Bible. So you can't say, I'm not going to read the Bible because so many people are reading the Bible and it's not making a difference to them. So what's crazy for me is how Christians are always praying for more of Jesus, more of a revelation of you. We want more of you. We want an encounter with you. But suddenly, when that closeness or that more of Jesus that we're always desiring costs money, then we're good. We're good. We're just going to read our Bibles. We're going to get into our prayer closets. We don't need to see you, Jesus. Now, here's the real question for me. If the offer was $10, would there even be a debate? Would anyone even hesitate? $10 or 10 minutes with Jesus? I don't believe anyone would even hesitate if the offer had been $10. And please don't get me wrong. I'm not making this video to dump on Simone or to judge it or any such thing. I'm making this video because when I saw this debate on TikTok, so many people siding with her and saying, we'll take the money. We don't need 10 minutes with Jesus. And other people on the other end saying, we want 10 minutes with Jesus. There's no way we're taking the money. It got me thinking. We all have, or we've all had our $1 trillion. It's not always money, but all of us have something that we sometimes choose above Jesus. It's always in an area of genuine need where the devil tempts us, to choose. Sometimes it's comfort over Jesus. Sometimes it's just social media. Sometimes it's choosing a relationship over Jesus. Other times it's just choosing entertainment. I want to spend more time watching Netflix than spending time with Jesus. The thing is, it's always in an area where you have genuine need. There are people who have no need for money who would, in a heartbeat, 10 minutes with Jesus. But each and every one of us have something that we have need of. And in those areas, not all of us are still choosing to prioritize intimacy with Jesus. There are times when, we choose our need over Jesus. And that is your $1 trillion. I hope this video has encouraged you or convicted you to look, I almost said condemned you. No, I'm not trying to condemn anyone. Convicted you to look into your own life and try to discover what your $1 trillion is. So the question here isn't really money versus Jesus. This reveals what we value when there's a cost. When something feels too costly to give up for Jesus, then usually that is the thing that is already sitting on the throne of our hearts. So, okay, I'm going to play the rest of the video where she backtracks and says, I'm going to choose 10 minutes with Jesus over the $1 trillion.
I don't even think seeing him is enough. If you don't have the faith or the belief, you just don't have it.
Yeah.
Like seeing him isn't enough.
Yeah.
But then I get what you're saying. I want to touch the hem of the garment. Hold on, y'all. I'm back. Now I'm thinking I might take the 10 minutes.
She backtracks and says, that's your point. I'm going to take 10 minutes with Jesus instead of $1 trillion. I'm not going to comment on that. You make of it what you will. Okay, that's it from me for today. I hope this video encouraged you, convicted you, challenged you, condemned you. No, I'm joking. I hope this video did not condemn you. I hope it encouraged you, challenged you, and convicted you. Please make sure to subscribe, to like the video so that it reaches more people, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. God loves you more. Bye.